I'm not going back and forth with a man who thinks that they should be in my position. If you want to be in my position, get in my position.
Do you believe that?
Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show on YouTube at Bluff City Media. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Anthony Sain.
Acknowledge me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show, live here from the Bluff City Media Studios. Kenny Stubblefield behind the glass. What's going on, my brother?
You threw me off, man. You came in a little bit later than you normally do.
Man,
You got a beat. You got a beat.
Man,
you hit every
I do
time.
have a little groove. I be jumping in.
Yeah. I was kind of like, wait, what's going on?
Had
man?
a little reflux situation going on.
Oh, I feel you, bro. My bad.
I typically, my routine lately has been to drink energy drink before the show. And I got totally off of it. I used to drink them a lot, man.
Yeah.
When I was doing radio at like 6 in the morning.
You had to.
I was smacking them joints every day.
Yeah.
Now, I got away from them, man, but I've been kind of back on it now. But they give me like bad reflux whenever I drink them joints.
What's your energy drink of choice?
I'm just old school Red Bull.
Red Bull, man.
Yeah, Red Bull, dude. But yeah, I'm about to leave that stuff alone, bro. I gotta find alternate methods. Cause like if we do, we're recording kind of late today, right? So typically, if I'm recording later, I need that little boost to get me through because this is like unwind down time for me.
Yeah.
During the day, and stuff at work is kind of cranking up, so you normally need that boost, man. But yeah, that's where the pause came from.
My bad. Yep.
Avoiding choking. I'm trying to let the reflux pass.
Yep.
Wild weekend for myself. I'll get into that before I talk about these stuff that's going on over there with the University of Memphis basketball team. Busy weekend for me, man. My son Gabe started basketball last Saturday. Had a game on tonight, Tuesday as well.
Beast.
But I spent a busy weekend. I went to my good friend Jason Smith. Went to his son's game last weekend. Started the day off at CJ's game at 10, and then CJ's team was in a tournament, right? Like some type of city championship for whatever league they're in. And CJ's game was at 10. And in the second game, it was kids from Gabe's school playing on the combined team that's like the future CBHS kids. It's like the Purple Wave. But it's basically the two schools that feed into the
feeder system.
Right. This is so weird, man. When you're in private school, it's like
it's
like schools kind of show their hand like, yeah, man. Like we go get the best kids from wherever, from St. Louis, and the best kids from St. Dominic, and just put them on a team together so we can have this. Basically, we can have little CBHS out there, letting them play together as kids. Like, all right, man, I'm out. Hey, what Fred Smith say when the grown people with money in the room talking, just stay your broke ass out of the conversation. So that's kind of where I'm at. So Gabe don't play for that team. He plays for like probably the third team at his school, right? But this combination team of St. Louis and St. Dominic, they played in the second game. So I stayed for CJ's game. I watched the second game that had Gabe's other classmates in it that are, a little better than Gabe or whatever. They lost. And so the championship game is tonight between New Hope, which is CJ's team, and Briarcrest, which is like, Duke basketball when it comes to like the team there. Everybody hates Briarcrest, right? So in everything. Because I remember my daughter played for White Station in volleyball. We would play Briarcrest. Oh, man, screw Briarcrest. Rich-ass, goddamn, professional-ass damn stadium they playing football in. Basketball arenas off the chain. Indoor courts. Yeah, man. And exactly. I'm out there watching them play volleyball. They got like 3 6'5" ass girls. Like, man, what the hell y'all? And one of the girls is like, one of the girls, her dad used to play for U of M. Like what the hell, man? Like one of those 7-foot dudes used to play. Yeah. Like that's like her uncle or some shit. I'm like, man, what the hell? So Briarcrest is always good at everything, right?
Hey, you want to hear something crazy?
Go ahead.
That was my cousin.
Who?
That girl you're talking about.
For real?
Yep.
Like was Ben Spiver her uncle or some shit like that?
Yeah.
You related to Ben Spiver?
Through marriage.
You a big country white boy too. You probably is one of the Spivers.
So my first cousin, Dana, is married to Jeff Spiva, Ben Spiva's brother. That's their daughter.
Man, that girl was cold, bro.
She was cold as hell.
Bro, check this out.
Yeah.
Sabrina played volleyball from 6th grade to 12th grade, right?
Yeah.
Sabrina probably lost to that girl 30 times.
Yeah,
bro.
dude, she was nasty.
Bro, Sabrina, I was like, Sabrina, I'm so sick of you losing to this damn tall-ass girl.
I knew her when she was a baby. Like, that's my little cousin. That's my little second cousin, bro.
Man, that girl was a monster, bro.
Yeah, she's nasty.
So, in 6 years, Sabrina probably lost to that girl 30-plus times, bro.
Briarcrest was so good.
She was like Nick Van Exel.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. Bro, Sabrina always played on good teams, bro. Like, she was at Colonial Middle School.
Yep.
They played against that girl, got their ass beat. Sabrina went to like club teams, right?
Yep.
All of them. That girl that was on the other team beating her ass.
Yeah.
Like Sabrina never beat a team that had that girl.
And
on.
do you want to hear something crazy about it? Her name was Madison Spiva.
Yeah, that's her name. Yep.
Do you want to know what? Do you know what she went and played CBU ball? She didn't even play D1 volleyball.
For real?
That's how cold these girls
Oh
are.
yeah, them girls be cold. Cause that girl was cold, bro.
She was cold. No,
I
she
said,
was
man,
nasty.
Sabrina been losing to this girl for 6 years.
Yeah, she played CBU, and which is great. I mean, CBU has a good team.
I think she just didn't want to leave Memphis, bro. 'Cause that girl was cold.
Man, I don't know. You might be right.
Shit. Anyway, but yeah, that's my weekend, man. Gabe won his game. They won the game the other night. They lost tonight though.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Both of us are kind of you've been parenting Gabe in sports longer than I have my daughter in sports. She just started playing volleyball last
And Sabrina too.
2 years. And Sabrina, right,
yeah.
right. Sabrina too. But my daughter just started playing volleyball. We had a tournament this weekend, so my weekend was spent in the gym as well. On top of breaking stories,
Right. I did trying to tear my boy Penny down.
trying to, get paid, man.
When am I getting my NCAA check?
It's
man?
coming, bro.
Damn.
It's coming. I got you, man.
I'm at like semi defending y'all and shit.
But I need you to defend me more on
All
Twitter.
right,
You got to make your pay, man.
like to get my part of the NCAA check.
Yes. You've been kind of wishy-washy in your defense of me, man.
Hey, bro.
No, but so I was in the gym all weekend with her at a tournament at the MSEC, that really dope stadium or dope event center over by the Liberty Bowl. Really great place. My daughter had a rough Saturday. It was bad. The whole team had a rough Saturday. There was a moment in the game where she got pulled from the game because she was having a rough time, and she started crying on the sidelines. How do you handle that?
It's hard, man. Sabrina used to get mad.
Yeah.
And Gage the same way. Both of them get mad or whatever. It's tough, man, because volleyball is one of those games where it's one of those games where you have to be mentally locked in. Because like, if you let a couple bad plays go wrong,
Oh my gosh.
then y'all get to argue, you lost. Your team's gonna lose.
It's
like
over.
because it gets away from you real quick if you're not mentally on top of the game. So Sabrina, like her senior year, she didn't give a shit. Like she was like, all right, man, get me away from this. Like I'm kind of out on this. And they had won at White Station. They won the district championship like every year. You know what I mean? So she was always used to winning until they got Briarcrest. Briarcrest
Right.
would beat the shit out of them.
Right.
Like those private schools, the public schools cannot touch those teams at all. Because you got Ben Spiva's niece out there, you know what I mean? So
My second cousin.
yeah, Todd Mutt's daughter out there. And this,
Justin Wimmer's
right. Who else? Who would try to think of big ass white boys? I don't know. But yeah, man. So but yeah, like it's tough though. You just kind of let them.
You got to let them get through it, right?
Yeah, you gotta let them get through it. And I've seen Gabe like get hurt out there.
Yeah.
And I've had to tell him, you got to suck it up and keep going, son. You can't stop to cry. You know what I mean? So you just have to push through it.
I'm impressed with her, though, man. She went off the court, got her cry on for a second, and
got-
immediately
got
got
back
back in the
out
game
there. Yeah.
and was cold the rest of the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I told her afterwards, I was like, I wasn't coming over there to console you. Like, you didn't need me to console you.
Right.
I'm proud of you that you fought back, that you didn't let yourself go, right? So, anyway, man, it's tough. Like, I'm a competitive dude. You're a competitive dude. We played sports all growing up. It's tough to
I just want him to have fun, like, and just get better.
watch your kids kind of go through the ringer
Yeah.
that we did. You know what I'm saying? You want to get in there and protect them, but at the same time, it's like, man, you gotta let them do it.
And then Gabe's a heavier boy, so I see him like laboring just to get up and down the court sometimes. But he's gotten a lot better at that.
Bro, when puberty hits, he's gonna be fine.
yeah, Gabe gonna be-
he's gonna be a
Yeah,
monster.
he's gonna be a beast for sure. But yeah, man. Speaking of puberty hitting, I don't know how I'm
I don't know.
make this make sense.
That's a good segue.
Dude, when you hit puberty, stuff starts getting awkward, right?
Yes,
You
it
know what I
does.
mean? You start. No, I can't say that because there's a show that I know more than what I'm talking about.
Be quiet. Allegedly.
Right, exactly. So let me be quiet on that. But yeah, forget that transition. But over at the University of Memphis, right? Some guys that are well past puberty. I'll say that. Some grown ass men. One grown ass man. One of the growner men over there. Malcolm Dandridge has an alleged scandal on his hands, man. Something about academics, the details have not been ironed out. What he was doing, I don't know, but I made this joke on Twitter, man, where I said I showed a clip of some Monday Night Raw wrestling, WWE stuff, right? And it's like all this wild stuff was going on, and then like Stone Cold's music hits, and Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out. He's hitting people with chairs, and he throws somebody on top of somebody and makes them win. It's like just when you thought the University of Memphis season was as crazy as it's going to get, like another level of drama hits with this whole thing with Malcolm. And I'll say this, man. I hate for it to come off like I'm throwing Malcolm under the bus, but you gotta. I hate to say I told you so. Hate to say I'm right, and I know Malcolm's your man. I know Malcolm's your guy, Ken. So I'm not trying to put you out there, but right. I'll just kind of say this, and I'll get up off of it. And I said this a few weeks ago too. And if you're paying attention to the bench and the way things are going, we've been talking about who's the problem, what's the problem, right? After a win like you got against FAU, your problem might have been sitting on the bench, Ken. I'm just throwing that out there. Like I present that to the people. Could Malcolm Dandridge been more of an issue this season than we thought he was? And we talked about Naquan Tomlin, right? Oh man, ever since he's gotten there, they just ain't the same. That dude was looking like a damn pro.
God, he looked. Man. Tell me he did not.
That dude like Kelly Wise, 2024. That dude was incredible.
I mean, folks were making the comparison between like the energy levels and the facial expressions of DeAndre
Williams. And why we gotta do that, man? Like that
because
hold on, bro. I could very well, if Naquan Tomlin said, "Man, I don't even know who y'all are talking about," would I be mad at him for that?
No, not at all.
Like, why do we like comp dudes to dudes? They're like dude, that dude's like, I don't. No, man, I've been like this all my life, man. Like I'm not trying to be no damn DeAndre Williams. But anyway, so that dude is good, man. Like he's very good. And if I'm just gonna play detective, I think that when Dandridge got here, I think he felt like he was better than Jordan Brown. And I think that caused some issues with those two dudes, especially when he got there and he was better than Jordan Brown. I think Malcolm didn't want Jordan Brown to come back. I think Malcolm felt the way when Tomlin came. He was another guy who was heralded to be better than him. And I think that Malcolm wanted no part of transitioning him and letting him be the dude when he was coming in. I think Malcolm wanted his spot. And I'm like I said, I get that. That's human nature. That's the nature of man. So I get that part too. But then you just kind of hear shit about Malcolm, right? Like, well, Malcolm does this, or he says this, or this happens. And you start hearing Penny talk about, well, I want to do this, but I got certain guys I just can't play together. And I don't know. Like, it's sad because Malcolm's having the best season of his career.
Right.
And you're hearing things about this whole academic thing that, that y'all went out here hating on Penny, you and your boys, you and your two interns.
Interns. You mean beat writer and basketball analyst?
Hey man, y'all finna stop hating on them boys too. Cause my thing is, like I say, I'm not Billy McBeat writer or
right.
or Nicholas K. Newsbreaker. I'm none of those dudes, bro. Like at one time in life, I could go there, right? I would break stuff on Twitter, or I would, speak with intelligence about stuff I heard on Twitter or on the radio, whatever I was doing. But I don't care for that stuff, right? And like stuff like this is why. Like I don't.
No, I agree.
Because like, and I'll say this to anybody, man. Anybody who may be listening, anybody who I had to have a impromptu meeting with Asylum Media Group this weekend because of this whole University of Memphis situation, and we talked about building relationships with people, having information, and what do you do for the information? Because once you get into that breaking news, being that dude, people are going to hold you to being there, right?
Yep.
And it's impossible to be relational and to be that beat writer guy. I mean, that newsbreaker dude at the same time, because you're going to have to compromise one or the other. Because bad stuff is going to happen to people that you've made that you became friends with, right?
It's a very tough situation to be in.
And I look at Penny Hardaway with this is my childhood idol eyes. That's the eyes I have for Penny Hardaway, right?
Me too.
And which is why I'm not going to be in the news breaking world, because if I hear something about Penny is bad, I'm gonna sit on that shit. and me being like,
you just be upfront and honest, man.
Right.
I'm not talking about this.
This stuff that's out. I've known about it for a while. You know what I mean? and I've heard it through a couple ways. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not the guy who's gonna be like, oh man, I want to see Penny fail. But for the people who are in that lane, dudes doing what they got to do to stay in that lane. You know what I mean? And I don't know Hitman. I don't know what he looks like. He's just a white dude who ain't never seen his face. I heard his voice on Spaces or whatever. And I saw him on y'all's show the other day.
Yeah.
Roman's like a sophomore in University of Memphis. And they just out here doing their thing, man. But like y'all need to stop acting like it is weak as hell, bro, and complete bullshit to try to pull to try to lowboy these dudes like, well, you know, and Jeff Calkins is one of my like dudes I look up to, right?
100%.
We don't have a mentor relationship, but I silent mentor Jeff Calkins. Like the way Jeff moved, the way Jeff, the Jeff Calkins, the orator, all those type of things. I pull certain things from Jeff Calkins. Like this show is like a fake ass sports clip. It's not sports clips, but whatever sports files that Jeff Calkins had. Like it kind of works like that show worked, right?
Right.
And when Jeff was on here, I asked him. I said, Jeff, do you see sports files after the show? He was like, we laughed about it, but like I don't like what Jeff did the other day in regards to you, but to y'all, right? He was like that we have a higher standard of fact checking or whatever. Like Jeff, how you know how many sources they? How you know who their sources was, bro? And how you know that the guys at Daily Memphian or Commercial Appeal had anything? Like you don't know. Like and if they didn't put it out, bad for them, man. It's like you know that's their fault. You know what I mean? Like don't shit on these dudes because man the times have just changed. Like people are able to gather information. And like I said on Twitter, me personally, I'm not in that lane, so I can hear stuff about Penny. I've heard some wild ass shit about Penny Hardaway in this team, bro. Some of it I think is bullshit. Some of it I know is real. Some of it whatever. But that's not my lane, bro. Right. I just wait for that shit to come out, and I'll talk about it whenever.
You're like John Martin said it on his show the other day. Him and Jason talked about it, and they said, John was like, I used to be in that lane too. And he said,
John don't give a shit.
He's like, I've removed myself from that. But he goes, I could roll over in bed and have a story right now.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of in that same lane where it's just like, I just choose not to be.
People
right?
come to me with shit that I don't want to know often, bro.
Yeah.
When that stuff happened with Ja and the Holloway kid,
right?
I knew the very next morning after this shit happened that it happened.
Yeah.
And I sat on this shit for a year.
Yeah.
Until it came out, bro. It doesn't benefit me any to do that. Like, but for you guys, like I said, that's what y'all want to do. I don't feel no way about this shit because, like I said on Twitter, man, this shit happened, bro. So it's whether y'all broke it or not.
It's coming out.
It's coming out, man.
Yep.
And when you talk about stuff like that, stuff where the NCAA is going to have to get involved in, investigation, all that type of stuff, it's going to come out regardless, man. Like, y'all didn't go do the shit. All y'all did was say, hey, it's happening. You know what I mean? And here's my fear and here's my hope with the whole thing. I hope that Penny sees the bigger picture in all this. And if there are other players involved or could be involved, just go ahead and take your lumps, man. Sit all them dudes now. Because I would hate to be in a situation where NCAA comes back and it says, well, there were other people involved in this. And now, you should have known, and now it's a bigger scandal than just dealing with it now. Because there are some people saying there are other people, there are reports coming from all over the place. There are certain screenshots that are like, shit, that shit sound fire. Like, where did it happen? Oh, it happened here. Oh, okay, shit. But that shit sound wow.
Might I say something real quick about
Go ahead.
that?
Mm-hmm.
There's a dude that has been posting a screenshot everywhere with details.
That shit sound wild as hell.
He is, I want to say unequivocally, he is not affiliated with Bluff City Media.
Okay.
Unequivocally.
I know that, but cool.
Not a lot of folks don't know that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of assumptions that he is affiliated with us.
Well, man, I'm affiliated, so I need my goddamn check.
You got it.
And NCAA paying y'all, man.
I'll write you, man.
To take Penny down, I need my check, bro.
I got you.
Because I'm guilty about association fooling with y'all, man.
And hey, listen, we were joking about this in the Discord the other day, and TJ had to come in and say this is all sarcasm. I'm gonna say that now. This is all sarcasm, man. We're playing around.
And why y'all think the NCAA give a damn about Penny Hardaway and the Tigers? Like, why? Like, what is? I've never understood that, bro. Like, we've had some bad breaks. And I think we get bad breaks because nobody gives a damn, more so than it's like a concerted effort of consciously trying to take down Memphis. I don't really think nobody gives a shit about us. Like that.
I think it's an easy narrative to put out there that the NCAA has a vendetta against the
Now,
Tigers.
there's certain things about Penny that I think the NCAA is pissed.
I agree.
It has pissed the NCAA
Can I
off.
tell you the one thing I think it is? It's the fact that he got the job over Tubby Smith.
And he kind of has a different type of swag about himself.
A different type of swag, but
And he goes
there's
about stuff in a way that's,
there's an old guard.
different. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
There's an old guard in the NCAA, and Tubby Smith is directly involved in that. He's infiltrated that, and so I
Right.
think that the way that the fact that Tubby got fired,
Yeah.
and Penny got the job,
Right.
he bucked the trend of being an assistant coach for a long time, being a lifer in the NCAA college basketball world. He came in and represented a section of people that the NCAA
Right.
doesn't want to affiliate with.
Right.
And so I think that could be a part of it, but I do think that it's an easy thing to
goofy to
say.
say something
It's an
so.
easy thing to say that the NCAA hates Penny Hardaway and Memphis
Yeah.
Tigers and they're out to get
Yeah.
the Tigers. I would say that the majority of the things that have happened are legit and they need to be they have had to be dealt with, and so it is what it is.
Well, I'll say this, man. For all the NCAA conspirators out there who think there's a vendetta out against us, get your timestamp button ready, Kenny. Season's pretty fucked up anyway before this happened, bro.
Yep.
So I don't really think did they do that too? Did they lose to Rice?
Did they lose to Rice?
Did they
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Did they go from 10th in the country to 10th in the AAC in a matter of 3 weeks?
I don't think the NCAA had anything to do with that.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, we got to stop the nonsense, man. And like I said, I wouldn't do what y'all did because it serves me no good at all to do that. But I'm not mad at y'all for doing that, man. Y'all did what y'all are in that lane. You know what I mean? So that's what you have to do for guys like Hitman and Roman. That's kind of how it works.
If you want to be.
And those dudes are kids, man. They don't have the level of they don't know Penny like we knew Penny like that.
But again,
they don't know.
say this on a constant basis. You're not a media member.
I'm not.
You're a media pop star.
I'm a content creator.
You're a content creator / pop star.
Yeah.
So
Local
that's not
celebrity.
that's not your lane. But in journalism, in real journalism,
And this ain't real.
you in journalism where you are reporting on facts that happen, if you're a media company or someone who aspires to be in that lane, you've got to let your feelings go at the door. You have to, or you can't be trusted. Like you've got to be willing to report the good things and the bad things. Yeah. And unfortunately, story came our way and we had to go with it. I didn't get any enjoyment out of it.
And let me say this to y'all too, man. Like everybody's talking about this fake professionalism stuff and all this type of stuff and doing things a certain way. Yeah, man, I hear what you're saying, but these dudes who ain't from Memphis, if they had that story, they would have came with a little bit even more energy to this shit.
Come on, man.
Stop it, bro. Like,
Come on, man.
Y'all, if y'all had the info, y'all would have dropped this shit too, and it would have been even harder. Because I know for a fact that there are certain people in the city that are looking for something to nail both the Grizzlies and the Tigers with, because they ain't from here.
To make their way.
To get the up out of here. You know what I mean? So
100%.
So don't get mad at these dudes, like I said, because if the shoe was on the other foot, them dudes who ain't got a drop of Memphis blood in them would have been would have came with a totally different energy on this shit. Because me and Kenny, me and you been talking about this, you know what I'm saying, for a while, man. You know what I mean? It's a slippery slope, man. I stay out of them lanes, but because my show is produced by Bluff City Media, I'm associated with y'all, so and you my guy, so I'm a ride with you or whatever. But like I said, when I saw that shit dropping, I woke up to this shit like, damn, these folks dropping this shit. So I'm like, it is what it is, man. But Penny a grown ass man, bro.
Yep.
And
everybody on that team is grown.
He's a coach of grown ass men. You know what I mean? Them folks, they doing what they're doing. I don't think Penny should get like blamed for this shit because, especially some of the stuff I'm hearing when it comes down to this stuff, but. It's just the way it worked, man. That's the way that the whole thing works. He's the coach, and any blame is going to come on him. But like I said, it's on the court. They got the big win against FAU, man. I've been saying this entire season. That team is more talented than anybody in that conference. When they turn up, they unbeatable.
I will say this, man. If it takes a level of drama to get what we got out of the Tigers on Sunday,
What else they got?
that team can beat anybody that played on Sunday.
Made me wonder what else y'all got going on over there. Come on, put some more shit out.
I'll tell you some stuff off. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
I can't take nothing else, man. I can't take nothing else, man. Don't tell me, because I might break that bitch. Just
Hey, listen.
I might break that bitch. Like,
Get us a natty.
like who was a Roman Cleary? I'm gonna break this man. Who was a hitman? I'm gonna break this shit. No, couldn't care less about it, man. It does nothing for me, man. But my man Parish Sharkey is about to join us when we come back for the sit down with Sain. Y'all know how we do it each and every Wednesday. My man Parish Sharkey, we're gonna have a good time with him. About to take a break. When we come back, it's gonna be more for the Anthony Sain Show. See y'all in a minute.
But like watching him develop into what he was, and I mean, forever will be etched in my mind the night that Dylan and Shannon Sharp and T got into it, and Shannon was talking big in his cardigan until Steve-O walked over there, and all of a sudden Shannon wasn't so big no more.
It's the only time I've ever seen Steven Adams pull his hair out of the bun.
Right, like he was finna throw some hands, and Shannon Sharp wanted none of that smoke. He was ducking all that smoke.
That and Tony Bradley, him carrying a 7-foot Tony Bradley away from John Morant. You know?
I mean, love me some Steven Adams for that. But like, Drew, we've hit on second round picks. So if we keep these second round picks, like we've hit on those much better than we have on lottery. Not, Tripp and Ja notwithstanding.
Right.
But we took in picks for this year as well as next year. Also,
2 for 24,
night,
1 for 25.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Friday at 3 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
But Vince Williams is the closest thing we've seen to Tony Allen.
100%.
Tony Allen. I think that has been really thrown around very loosely in a kind of just joking manner for a lot of people, because everybody for the love that we have for TA, such a big factor in this franchise. We throw that thing around. We throw that the grandson thing around lightly because it's just kind of funny on Twitter, but he is the closest thing to Tony Allen that has been so far in a Memphis uniform. And I think that's very, DeAnthony Melton might have been the other, but to your point, and that's what made me think about this, is that the fearlessness that he plays with, that's what Tony Allen played with. He did not care who you were. He doesn't see a name on that.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with Mark King and Luke Hatmaker at 1 p.m. every Monday through Friday, live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
When you get everybody healthy,
When you get BC back,
when you
get Steve-O.
like think about the top 8 when they're back healthy. This is what's exciting about all this new stuff with Vince and Gigi. Their top 8 when they get back healthy: Ja, Jaren, Dez, Steven, Marcus, Vince Williams Jr., Luke Kennard,
Brandon Clark,
and then you could go Santi. That's
David
9.
Roddy is 10.
Yeah, see if David Roddy or Gigi is a 10th. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, this team, as much as this is a lost season, because it is, you have seen some things come to fruition that you didn't expect come to fruition.
Absolutely.
And going into next year, I'm about as positive as I've ever been about what this team could accomplish. I really am.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. As always, each and every Wednesday, my man, he's the beat writer for the Memphis Grizzlies for Bluff City Media. My man, Parish Sharkey, is in the building. Parish, what's going on, my boy?
What's good, my guy?
Man, a lot of stuff going on. More so on the Tiger basketball side. I know that you could talk Tigers too, so we'll talk about that. The Tigers got a big Big win against FAU. The matchup that was supposed to be bigger than what it was the other night. Going into the season, it was supposed to be the Grizzlies versus FAU. I'm sorry, Tigers versus FAU, right? Like the top 2 teams in the conference, right? But yeah, it ain't really panned out that way, man. It reminds me, I'm gonna date myself again. Paris, I like to do this with you because you're at least 9 or 10 years younger than me. When me and Kenny were coming up, it was the Summer Olympics of 1996, right? Yeah.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. They had something called Reebok had this campaign for these 2 guys that were decathletes, Dan O'Brien and Dave, this other dude, right?
Dave
something.
Yeah.
Dave Matthews Band.
Matthews Band.
Nah, but anyway, it was Dan and Dave, right? And Reebok had this campaign for these 2 dudes. There were 2 American athletes that were number 1 and number 2 in the world. And everybody was talking about how these dudes, they just wanted to see the matchup between Dan and Dave in the Olympics. And Reebok had this super viral campaign, right? Before there was a viral. They had this big campaign. Neither one of them dudes did anything in the Olympics. I want to say they didn't even qualify. Like, they didn't even get to the point where, like, they were even close to getting the medal, I don't think.
Dang.
But yeah, so yeah, that's what FAU versus Memphis has became. Look up Dan and Dave. You can catch up on it. Also similar to the campaign that Nike did with LeBron and Kobe. That year they could have met in the finals.
The cookies.
And I want to say that neither one of them made it to the finals, if I'm not mistaken. Because they were hyping up LeBron versus Kobe.
I think Kobe, when they won it, because they had another one come back later where Kobe was celebrating and LeBron was sitting there looking sad on the couch.
But the year they did that campaign, I don't think either one of them made the playoffs, though. Made the finals,
finals.
I don't know. But Memphis versus FAU. That's what it turned into, right? So Memphis got the big win. The FAU team, like I said in the beginning of the season, they're not that good of a team to me. And we saw Memphis just pretty much have control of the game for the entire game. You know what I mean? For the most part. And they got a big win. Despite a lot of the scandal, the bad news we heard about the possible academic ineligibility thing with with Malcolm Dandridge and possibly other players that we found out about last week. When you see, this is where I am. When I see that team that I saw the other day, even without Malcolm Dandridge, and we joked and talked about that in the first segment, the whole Malcolm Dandridge thing. That team is still a very talented team, man. You're talking about a team that's probably the most talented team in the conference. Would anybody be shocked at this point if this Tiger team, with all the bullshit they've gone through this year, still went out there and won 4 games in 4 nights and won the tournament? Like, I'm not ruling that out at all. Like, they're still the best team in the conference to me.
Longest penny I did peep something in the FAU game. I looked at the minutes.
Yeah.
Everybody who started played about 35 plus minutes.
Exactly. Like, it's real simple, man. Like, it's real simple, man. Just like play the dudes you know can hoop, man.
Play hoopers out there. Like, play the best players, right?
All right, explain this to me, Kenny. All right, now I'm gonna go back in time, right? Memphis FAU last year in the NCAA tournament, right?
Right.
That play where they didn't call the timeout, right?
Did you say? And there was. Anyway, go ahead.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
The ball was in Jaden Hardaway's hand when it happened.
Yes,
right?
Alex Lomax looked at Kendrick Davis and Alex Lomax looked at the ref and said timeout.
Right, but the ball was in Jaden Hardaway's hand, right?
Yes, and John L. Davis had one pinky finger on the ball,
and he came in and he let the ball get tied up, right?
I mean, I don't even think you would necessarily. College basketball tie-ups are weird. If you get one pinky on the ball, they'll call it a tie-up.
But this is what I'm saying, like. My trust level is at the end of the game with Jaden Hardaway having the ball in his hand is at 0. And there are fans telling me I was wrong for because Penny subbed Jaden in for the kid who looks like an eternal middle schooler.
Nick Jourdain.
Nick Jourdain looks like he's had the same face all his life. Like his face just won't change. He does. You know how some dudes have a baby face, right?
Yeah.
He's got like an eternal kid face. Like he's gonna like a kid all his life.
And the interesting thing about it is he's smiling all the time.
All the time. And he literally looks like a huge kid. Like for real.
No, he does. No, you're 1,000%.
What's the kid's name who he played for Oklahoma City at one time? I want to say he plays for the Spurs now. He's got like an eternal 6-year-old face. You know what I'm talking about? He's a little light-skinned dude. His name is Roby or something like that.
Oh, Josh Roby?
Josh Roby.
Like what is that dude's name?
Isaiah.
Let me see.
He has a permanent 5-year-old face. Nick Jourdain is in that same ilk for sure. But anyway, man,
Isaiah Roby.
They took pull him up on your phone.
Yeah, that might look like a real baby.
He literally looks like a baby in the face. But Yeah. So like they took Jordan out and they brought Jaden Hardaway in. I'm like, what the hell is Penny doing? Like, why is he putting him in? And people like, oh, it's Jordan can't guard the battle. Okay, so Jaden can. Like, what are we talking about?
I actually got a really funny story about that situation. I can tell you off air.
Okay, well, cool. I'm like, man, just keep Babyface out there, man, because Jordan had a good game, right? He was like rebounding, playing defense. Right. I'm like, why are you taking that dude out? Anyway, it's like, dude, I saw the game last year when like the ball went in Jaden's hand and it's up. I don't know what to do. Then we, that type of stuff. So, but yeah, big win for the Tigers. Like I said, I believe they can still win the tournament, which is the most Penny Hardaway coach team thing that could possibly happen is to win the tournament, whatever, and make it to the NCAA tournament. Then mess around and beat a couple teams.
It's like this team needs drama.
Yeah, man.
Right?
It's like it's just a very toxic relationship.
Even the end games, like think about the end of the game. You should have had it won. Then all of a sudden FAU has the ball down by 3.
Exactly. It's just man, just crazy stuff just has to happen with this team, man. And as far as the controversy, the stuff that we found out about last weekend. What are your overall thoughts on that whole thing? Is it like, do you think? Because my line of thinking is, I'm sure Penny will be blamed for this, but can you really blame Penny Hardaway for this goofball level stuff that they're accused of doing over there?
I'm about to say yeah and no.
Well, we still don't know what they're accused of, right?
But I'm saying we know that Malco has something going on, like academically.
Well, at least the investigation is centered towards him, right?
Right. So why?
I would say
how we blaming Penny for this?
I would say he shouldn't be blamed, but I've seen situations in the past where the coach they say the coach should know, basically. And cause I think did that happen with Rick Pitino and the whole Louisville thing where it was his assistants and they were like, you should have known.
And then he's the program is on probation anyway, right?
Yes, it is.
Kenneth says you're snitch number 1 on this situation.
We don't have to do an investigation, do we?
Kenny over there, man, put me in a bad position.
I did, man. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
I'm not defending these damn white boys, man. What I look like defending? Like, they got nothing to do with this shit, man.
Anthony got out there and was like, man, I ain't defending your ass.
Shit. I'm trying to throw one cent on the bus, but I'm not defending you. I almost said a derogatory word for white boys. No, I'm not defending y'all at all. None of y'all. I don't even know what Hitman look like.
Yeah, man.
I'm like defending that dude for. Yeah. My boy Roman, I defend Roman. Y'all got Roman caught up in this shit.
We'll go to the mattresses for Roman, man. That's my guy.
Roman ass be going out too, man. Oh, this is probably the last straw for Penny. I ain't gonna lie. Get his ass the hell up out of here. Hold on, bro. Roman, go easy, bro.
Hey,
bro, you don't remember one shit like, you remember Penny about some shoes. You know what I mean? Your ass don't know nothing about Penny like that, bro.
You weren't alive when he was in high school like we were, man.
I remember Penny with the bullet in his foot.
Yeah, when you hear about Penny getting shot in the streets.
I remember when Penny didn't have his grades. He had to wait for Penny. Penny had to sit out a year, right?
Yeah, his freshman year.
Yep.
Man, it was crazy times back then, too.
And he didn't even get red shirted. It was just he straight up sat out.
Niggas was on the bench with a bullet in his foot. And couldn't pass.
Grades, yeah.
Like, damn, Penny, if you had your grades, you still got a damn bullet in your damn feet. Hey, bro, times was crazy as hell back then, bro. Roman don't know nothing about this shit.
Get him out of here. He's like, oh, chill.
Yeah, get him out of here. I mean, at this point, I don't see how Penny gets. I don't see how Penny avoids this. Like, damn.
Well, folks
in the comments, who is this little dude? Get this dude out of here.
Well, I'll say this, man. To Roman's point, the whole issue, I think, is this team is on probation, and this is like this will be.
But yeah, Roman, man, just be careful, bro. Like, you don't know one sit like that, man. Don't be talking like Penny, just some Rudy Poot ass coach off the street, man. Penny Hardaway, Roman. Oh, wait, I'm the high voice. Get his ass out of here.
Hey,
hold on, bro. Then, hey, we ain't seen my boy Francis Carlona since. He like,
man.
Like, I ain't touching this shit.
He said he studied for the boys, man.
Francis said, I ain't touching this shit.
He said he got time for it.
So now he finna come see me.
I low-key wanted to blame Francis because I was happy.
All this shit went haywire. He took a break. All this shit went haywire.
Yeah, man. What's wrong with y'all folks? Hey, Francis said, I ain't fooling these white boys. Francis, hey man, hey, when white boys get the white boy, man, sometimes you gotta get your ass up out of there.
You gotta lay low for a minute, right?
Man, we ain't seen Francis since. Francis said, I ain't screwing with these white boys, man. I don't do a white boy shit. Hell no.
Oh.
Hey, y'all out here snitching on Penny, man. Y'all that shit, man. Kenny, what's up, bro? For real.
What you want to know?
Man, how y'all gonna throw 1 cent? Hey, when Doc pull up on your ass, you gonna see, man. It's real, bro.
Listen,
man, it's an ugly situation though, man, for sure. Going on over there, man. You hate to see it. It's just we just can't have a normal ass season, bro. Like it's It just can't happen. We just can't have a normal season. Speaking of normal, the Memphis Grizzlies lost the other night to the Brooklyn Nets, man. And somebody made a good point to that. I think it was Harrington. I was listening to him, and it's like people were like, "Oh man, this is the." You know, it was just an ugly loss. I'm like, man, it's supposed to be more of them, man. Like, this is what it's really supposed to look like. All the stuff they've been doing. It's really been a lot of overachieving. We saw Gigi Jackson have easily his worst game. The man got a highlight dunk, and that's it. The man got a highlight dunk and missed every other shot.
He had me tripping, bro. His response afterwards just so funny, man.
Yeah.
He was like, man.
Give me some locker room stuff last night.
He was like, man, I had to dunk. He was like, man, I thought I was about to have a great game. He was like, well, basketball guys hell to playing, so you know what I'm saying.
What is he like in the locker room? Does he look like a kid in there? Or is he?
He is. He is just like a kid.
Yeah.
That man, he's always happy all the time. He always smiling. Ain't nothing. He's rarely rattled. It's like even after last night, hey, I had a bad game. Hey, just do better next time. Like he was like, hey, I specifically asked him, did Brooklyn do anything differently on defense? He was like, nah, I just had off game. Yeah. Hey, it happens. Move forward. I'm gonna get better. So
people have talked about Lamar Stevens being a leader pretty much everywhere he goes. Oh, yeah. You see that in this locker room too?
Definitely. He's very just like mild-mannered, serious face all the time. Mm-hmm. Like he finally like laughed the other day when Terry Davis asked him like, "Hey, do you have a smile?" Like, but he's so serious. He just love hoop. Like anytime we ask him any type of question, he's like, "Man, I'm just out there hooping, bro. I just want to hoop. That's all I care about." Like,
he kind of reminds me of not particularly his game, but I bet his locker room demeanor is kind of like the Boss Man '99. Jay Crowder, yeah. Does he kind of have that type of vibe? Because you weren't in the locker room when Jay was here, though. Yeah, Jay was a whole different dude, man. Jay Crowder used to be. Now I'm 100% heterosexual, man, but Jay Crowder is a good looking dude. Like I ain't gonna act like the brother. Complain the brother ain't handsome, right? But man, the brother used to make me feel uncomfortable a couple times. Pause, hey, don't worry about me and mine, bro. But what I'm saying is, Jay Crowder used to make me feel super uncomfortable in the locker room, man, because he was just trying to be a little bit too sexy for my personal comfort, bro, in the locker room. Like, bro, ain't nobody but dudes in here, Jay. I mean, what you on, bro? Like, this man was coming out glossed up, lips greased up. Like, come on, bro. All right, bro. Relax, bro.
No, Lamar Stevens is doing it.
Talking all over and shit. I remember one time Sharon Brown and Carmen were in the locker room. Carmen didn't cover the team anymore. But it was those two ladies in the locker room. And Jay Crowder comes out. He's got like this damn fur coat on. It's like 82 degrees outside. He's putting rings on, putting chains on. And these two ladies are literally sweating. Look at this brother get ready. I'm like, all right, Jay. All right, bro. All right, man, relax, bro. You a little bit too freaky, man. Like, this man whispering out in the mic and shit. All right, bro. All right. Enough. But so Lamar Stevens, he ain't giving that type of energy.
Nothing like that.
He ain't coming. Parish is like, over nasty.
Sorry, Parish hadn't looked at his lips lately.
Like Jay, you a little bit too freaky for me, bro. But nah, like there's all dudes in here, man. You just extra glossed up. Like, all right, boss man. I'm not calling you boss man to your face, but off there I will call you the boss man. But what was I saying, man? Lamar Stevens talked about him. My boy, man, Gilly, up out of here, bro.
Man.
My boy Gilly, man.
You know, we knew it was happening, but like, dog, it's
man, my man. Why did you let the man games run out, man? So we could do the farewell game for Gilly, man. It's just, hey, when he got 3 left, I'll get his hands out.
Yeah, 1 left.
They could let that man play that last one, man.
He might as well play yesterday.
Damn, bro. They could let Gilly go and get one more, bro. Damn. So what is he? Okay, so technically, they cut him from his 2-way. That's another thing too, bro. They literally could have kept him on the 2-way until, even though his games,
they could have, but
even though his crossover games were over, he still could have stayed on the 2-way.
Because basically, the 2-way players, like they signed Jordan Goodwin to the 2-way, but they plan to play him. So
none of
these folks playing for the Memphis Hustle on the 2-way.
So right now, Gilly is not on the Hustle anymore either. So he's gone. Yep. He's an NBA free agent.
Yep.
Oh man, I hope somebody pick my boy up, man.
Somebody said on Twitter, they said he should sign to the Ignite.
It's a great idea.
He'd just be the point guard for the Ignite.
Yeah, he'd be the perfect dude for that, man. Nice setup, man. He gonna defend. He can knock down shots. He's just a steady hand, man. Like at that level, especially playing for the Ignite, he could be a really good point guard for that team. The NBA should look into that.
And make good money, man.
But see, that was talking about getting rid of the Ignite, though.
I had not heard that.
Yeah, they were asking with the NIL, does it even make any sense anymore to have the Ignite? Like, what is it really doing?
Yeah, because you got guys like Gigi who probably would have been better in the Ignite than in college, honestly. Yeah. There's a lot of kids. Definitely. There's a lot of kids that don't need to be in the college game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Gigi was probably a perfect example of that.
I think the Ignite is a good idea. I think it should expand. They should have
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I believe these kids that are at high school should be able to play for. Shoot, should be free agency. I mean, let them get drafted, like in the G League, whatever. Like, I get the Ignite thing, or maybe have a couple of pro teams or whatever, couple of developmental teams, whatever, for the guys coming out of high school, whatever.
Cool. It'll make the G League more profitable too. Like, more people will definitely tune in.
Because it's wild. Like, I know Overtime try to do their own like league like that, their own teams. Somebody else did too, and they just have not worked like this Ignite team has. This Ignite team, and I think it's because the NBA has put a lot of money behind it and brought in really good, coaching staffs and all that kind of stuff. But the
NBA really missed their window, man, because if the NBA had to capitalize on that joint, they really could have got all the top stars to come on. But they let the NIL get involved. NIL is, hey.
The NIL was
playing
in response.
8 years of college.
The NIL was in response to the G League.
Yeah, and
they had to do. They had to do that.
Yep, they had to. It was because all the top players are going to go play for the Ignite or whatever. But yeah, what are your thoughts about Luke Kennard? We saw him last night. I think he went like 2 or 3 from the field. And we had these conversations with people like Kenny who get ultra emotional about the white shooter. And I get
Don't talk about him, man.
And I get it, man. You get emotional about the white shooter, but in games like this, it's like
take more shots.
Whether it's nobody on the court or a team full of stars, you're going to get the same Luke Kennard. You know what I mean? And for him to be, it kind of feeds into my argument of, is he really worth paying whatever you're going to have to pay to bring him back, or is he better? Luke Kennard is going to be a part of a signing trade, because I think I've cracked the code on what the Grizzlies are going to do this summer. They're not going to draft their starting center. I think they're going to do a signing trade. And we saw one of the guys that could be a prospect for that last night, and Nick Claxton. What are your thoughts about seeing him on the court last night?
Jaren and Shane.
Man was on Jaren ass. All these dudes feel away about Jaren winning Defensive Player of the Year. All of them do. Like, dudes who weren't even on the ballot. Anthony Davis feel away. Like
that doggone game when they play against Miami. Bam.
Oh, yeah. Bam be going in his ass. Bam. Anthony Davis goes at him for it. Because I don't think AD's ever won Defensive Player of the Year. Has he?
I don't think so. He's always been like hurt.
He ain't playing no games. Anthony Davis goes at him about it. Bam goes at him. Nick Claxton goes at him about it big time. It seems like Brook Lopez be going to Jaren ass too whenever they play. But yeah, man.
Palo do too, but they both with USA teamates, so that's just friendly fire.
Yeah. So what do you think about Nick Claxton for what you saw last night?
Like, we going straight. We gonna get that parade ready on Beale Street.
Right.
We sign him.
Because here's my thing. He's not the prototypical big you think you need to play beside Jaren. But my thing is, man, if a guy like that wants to be here, you make it work, bro.
I'll tell you this. I don't know who's scoring.
If you got him, Jaren, and
Mark
Smart and Vince Williams, and that could be an actual lineup that's out there.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know who's scoring on it.
And don't mess around and let it be like Marcus Smart. You can put a lineup out there with Vince, Marcus Smart, G.G. Jackson, who can play some defense too, Jaren, and that dude, who's scoring? You get up 10, all right, game over. Go lock him down. Go lock him down for a whole quarter. You know what I mean? For real, though.
Good luck.
Yeah, man, I like his game. I think he's still young enough where he'll get stronger, over time. Still a very young player. Like I said, I love Nick Claxton's game. I think he gets about 8 rebounds a game, something like that. 7, 8 rebounds a game. Not where you want him to be as far as that goes, but you're talking about a guy with just a tremendous upside for sure. And man, they were just dropping all the nuggets on TV yesterday. They were talking about the shoes. He's been wearing Jaws the whole season. And then he was like, they said that he was talking with Ja and what's my boy? Ja T, and what's the other kid name? Ja's friend. Did they say that in the article too? Did they say he was talking to him too, Kenny? You read the article that Michael put out?
No, I didn't read it
yet.
I just want to say that like all of them are boys. I'm like, oh shit. Like, this man coming for real. Hey, we gonna be roguish as hell. That man, him, D-Tap, and John. We got the whole clique down here. We might as well go ahead and get Zion while we out there playing. Yeah, but I would love to see Nick Claxton on this team. Him and Hardenstein are my 1A and 1B. And I kind of got Hardenstein 1A because I think he's a better fit, honestly. But, yeah, either one of those two dudes.
Especially money-wise. With the cap. Desmond Baines extension kicking in.
Yeah. It's going to be some major shit going down. So what's something else? Take us to the locker room about something that we may not notice just from the quotes we see on Twitter or whatever. Cause it's crazy because they don't let y'all record no more. Like, which is crazy, bro. Like, if you got any recording on a phone, is not allowed, right? It's got to be a TV camera equipment on it. That's crazy because we miss a lot of the because the Michael Cole had a quote from Claxton saying he was like, hey, could you see yourself being in Memphis or whatever? He was like, we'll see. Okay, is it like we'll see, or just we'll see? Like, we don't have the video, so it's like, yeah, you can't tell. So were you in there when he did that? Okay, he went to the visit room. Yeah, okay. Any other sights and sounds from the locker room that you get?
Yesterday, not really. Like I said, the same people. So like some people, they gone by the time we even get there. Like Derrick Rose, Vince Williams, and like Santi. They like the first people out the door. And as soon as by the time we get there after talking with Taylor Jenkins, I think Luke Kennard, they was talking with him, and he was about to be out the door. So I didn't wait long enough for Jaren. Jaren be the last person. So
Man, bullshit.
Sometimes I wait. Last night, my article was done. I got work.
Yeah, I'm going, man. Jared, you got it, fam.
I live in Cordova. That's 25-minute drive.
Right. After I leave here at midnight.
I catch y'all.
Right. What is Brandon Clark? Is he in the locker room at all?
He was there for the first time. I saw him after the next game.
Okay.
That's the first time I ever seen him in the locker room.
Okay. So what do you think he is, like, headspace wise? You think
he's pretty good.
You think he about to get out there?
Like Terry said something to him. He was like, man, yeah. He was like, he said he missed the media. He missed all of this. He couldn't wait to be back. He was just kicking it. I feel like he's in a really good headspace.
All right, here's what I'm looking at, man. Because I'm looking at the numbers game for next year, right? Because you assume that you're gonna get some version of Brandon Clark back, and I think even 80-90% Brandon Clark is still good.
Yep.
Especially when you get more summer to rehab, get your game together, get back in shape, condition, all those type of things. What happens to Santi next year, man?
I think he'll trade. I think, to me, in my opinion, I look at Santi as that trade piece. If you're trying to make a trade for someone, now I think his country. I think he's in the last year of his deal next year.
I think so too.
If I'm mistaken. I'm not sure how big his contract is. I need to check into that. So he wouldn't be. Guess he couldn't be like in the signing trade.
He was taking like high second round.
He was late. He was the first round, the last pick of the first round. They traded into the first round.
Yeah.
Back-to-back years.
Yeah, it was like they picked him at 30. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I see him as being like that top trade, like in a trade package, he'll be like that, the major piece of it, like the headliner piece.
Can you do 2 for 1 on a signing trade? Like, can I send you Kennard and Santi?
I don't think so. Because when I'm thinking about the Grizzlies signing trade this year, the closest thing I can think of is when Jimmy Butler went to Miami. Miami didn't have the cap space, and they traded Josh Richardson and I think 2 firsts or something like that for Jimmy Butler.
So you can't do multiple players.
I'm not sure, but that's the one I can think about is Delwyn. D'Lo for Kevin Durant. Each one I've seen has been like one player.
1 for 1.
Yeah.
He would somehow bring Jimmy Butler into this conversation.
I was just thinking about the trade, man. It ain't got nothing to do with Jimmy.
Because Miami about this turn-up season for them. This is when they start. Them folks take the whole year off.
He
said that.
He said he gave the game away, man.
Them folks wait till damn March to start playing bad. Them folks be sorry as hell till March and they start hooping. Yeah, man, for sure. All right, this is something else that I want to talk about too, man. I hate to bring up old shit, Craig, but all right. The team has definitely been given a mulligan, right, with the injuries they have. Like, you clearly see why they're struggling. And you've seen some instances where they look really good, where they beat teams they weren't supposed to beat. And people will say, okay, well, do you look back and because I was one of the people like, all right, man, let's really ask ourselves, is Taylor Jenkins the dude we need him to be going forward, right? Like, are we still like, because 5-19, all things considered, for the team he had in the beginning, I can't just erase it. Like, I still have, like, do you still feel like some of those moments in the beginning of the season should have gone? Because you still think about it, bro. That team still had Bain, still had Jaren. The team had Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was just getting here, all that type of stuff. You had Luke Kennard on and off. We were 5-19, bro.
Yeah. It's tough. Definitely he deserves blame for it. Some blame, but also you can't discard 3 days before the season start, Steve Allen's out for the year, right? Then as soon as the season start, Santi got hurt. He out for the first 5 games. Then
Luke Kennard was out. Hurt. Then Marcus got hurt.
Then Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard went out. It's like somebody kept getting hurt at some point in time. And at some point you can't be missing 5 of your top 8 players for the majority of the 25 games and have a good record.
So when we get next year, you'll have everybody back. You'll have somebody's big man be your starting center. And do you expect? Is there any pressure on him going into next season, or do you think there's still?
I think next year is the year you find out if he's the coach.
Yeah, I think you'll find out very fast. I think he's capable of being that dude, man, because if you got a certain level of talent, you just put your right pieces in power, you know, you'll be fine. You know what I mean?
With me, he's great. I think because when I'm thinking next year, he's a really good regular season coach. So they're going to get to the playoffs, probably be a high seed. What you do in the playoffs will determine his fate, pretty much. What do you think about the Oklahoma City Thunder? Like they're trying to be. I don't really think much. All I can say is this: man, I see why teams hated us because they do the same shit. I mean, it's the same shit. But everybody loved them, so yeah, for a while because they're still because they did love us for a while, right? In the same right, that's true. And they still got that kind of schoolboy appeal. Then when we start, you know, getting our Ngana shit on, like, wait a minute. These folks. But I saw a video with the blue and gold year when we had the blue city just with the gold gear. Yeah, I got that. The boy throwing up sides like, oh shit, it's pretty Ngana-ish. Yeah, they got real. Yeah, it got real fast. Yeah, we started jarring him, you know, pulled out guns and shit. Like, oh shit, man. Yeah, the luster fell off for sure. Right. Speaking of giant guns, man, Paris, will you please help me? Will you please help me in my campaign to get Memphis Grizzlies fans to stop bitching every time anybody gets suspended for anything, bro? Like, bro, we get it, bro. My first thought on that suspension was like, why did anybody get suspended for that? I didn't really that whole thing with Jimmy Butler and them. I didn't really. I just saw they got into it, but I didn't actually. I haven't seen the video. Watching the video, I was like, y'all suspended 5 players for your regular typical. Right. I guess the dude put his hand around Jimmy Butler's neck. He should have got suspended. Everybody else, I was like, bro, if I hear y'all call like dudes fighting on the basketball court assault one more time, like, all right, bro, I get it. Yes, technically it's assault. Dude, you comparing job suspensions to that? Like, because that's the case. Hockey players used to be in jail because them dudes be scrapping. Like, bro, I get it. I understand the frustration of it, but it's like there's one thing that Adam Silver did that really makes me feel away, and it's the Josh Giddey stuff. Like this, yeah, that's the one. He didn't miss a single game, even while this investigation was off. Because that's when you pull a Malcolm Dandridge, man, when you just say, hey, or you don't play while we figure this out. You know what I mean? Like that bothered me. And even with the Miles Bridges stuff, I was about to say. He was out for, you know, that whole season while they were investigating it. But it just seemed like it's just so weird because it's still not really resolved and he's out there playing. Like that still bothers you, and the fact that it was anywhere close to the amount of games that y'all had anywhere close to his amount of games. Because he had 30, but then they put it back to 10. They just said he served 20 the season before. Type shit. I was like, all right. I was like, okay. But yeah, those two kind of bother me, but nothing else that we're complaining about. I mean, nobody else's suspension is going to come close. Like Draymond got his due. He missed about the same amount of games. People think about, man, that was kind of an unprecedented amount of games he got for what he did, all things considered. Exactly. Because, I mean, like, Malice in the Palace got like 30, 40, 50 games. They got the whole season. Yeah, but they were fighting fat dudes in the crowd. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a whole other beast. David Stern. David Stern was like, Melo, he got, I think, 15 games that whole Jerry Jeffries when he punched him and back all the way up. Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's, but please, Paris, join me. And, I've been on that, man. Begging our fans to stop crying. I'm gonna get my shirt. Don't entertain people when they're bored, man. We're gonna have it rocking that giant because I'm tired of it. Yeah, I'm tired of it for sure, man. But I tell you what, Parish, we about to take a break. You gonna stay with me for always. About to do this thing called a 3-pointer, man. A lot of wild shit going on in the world of sports. Yeah, y'all, we'll be back in a minute here on the Anthony Sain Show. See y'all in a minute.
It's an opportunity to kind of gain an idea of just how resourceful and creative this front office is. The Steven Adams trade reminds us of, in my opinion, just how resourceful and well thought through the moves that the Grizzlies make are when it comes to this front office. And the Killian Hayes rumor is exactly that. I think that it's fair to assume that the Grizzlies' interest in Killian Hayes and the interest that rival executives have when it comes to Zaire Williams and Jake LaRavia, those two things are connected. Killian Hayes, the name, is not the point of this potential deal. The Grizzlies' interest in Killian Hayes is, in my opinion, probably not for Killian Hayes, the player, But what is of value when it comes to Killian Hayes is that expiring contract.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with Mark King and Luke Hatmaker at 1 p.m. every Monday through Friday live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Basketball really isn't that complicated.
No.
The last 3 games that they've won, they've had more assists than turnovers.
Yep.
And their 2 best players are playing like their 2 best players.
Yep.
It's really simple. Like it's not that complicated.
It's a pretty stunning formula for success.
And that the recipe for success for this team is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Don't turn the ball over too much.
Yeah.
Share the ball, and then David Jones and Javon Quinterly go cook.
That's like the second level.
Okay, so I'm even more in the I'm more in the weeds than I need to be.
Let's go easy bake oven recipes.
Okay.
All right. Just play your damn best players.
That's fair.
Yeah, yes.
That's fair.
I agree with that. It's been frustrating watching Penny finally arrive to this, but I think he's there. But we'll see.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
David Roddy on like extreme circumstances, which he was awful against the Cavs last night. But anyway,
He's still young though.
I'm
still
I know y'all are. I'm
in.
not, man. Move that dude. He does not need to be a Grizz next year, and neither does
I'm
Moravia or Zaire.
not
like,
nailing
get them
him.
dudes out of here.
I'm not nailing him to the floor, but he is head and shoulders above. I mean, he is. I'd rather have him than a lot of people.
No, dude, get Roddy out of here. That dude's a bum. He's a 6'4"
You've done
center.
this before.
I've never been a Roddy fan.
And you've been absolutely wrong before.
Was I though? Because
old
he's not an NBA player. Yeah, he had a streak after I said that. He's not.
You're
an
picking
NBA
the
player,
wrong
dude.
hill to die on here.
I'm just telling you, man.
But my point is you can die on this hill if you want to, but it's not a take that is bold enough for you to die. Like we all could. You don't know. And nor do I know. The book
There's
is
a large
written.
enough sample size. There's a large enough sample size. That dude is not an NBA player.
That dude makes things happen. I want people that are active, who make winning plays. Teams need players. No, I'm going to finish. Teams need players that make hustle plays. That guy has it in spades. He is the guy that you want in your corner.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Friday at 3 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Here for the 3-pointer with my man Parish Sharkey in the building, man. Each and every Wednesday, we talk about 3 things going in the world of sports, man. Now, you talk about, the alpha males of the world, right? And beta and all this type of stuff, right? I ain't gonna lie, bro. Cam Newton is pretty ranked pretty high when it go down to alphas, man. The fact that you got a Mad Hatter hat on, man, with glasses on, it was, man, straight throwing hands. Like, and the fact that he wasn't fighting, but he was just getting dudes up off him, like single-handedly. Yeah.
How many dudes would it take for you to jump Cam Newton? Like, how many guys would you need to have with you?
You gotta think, man. Cam's what, like 6'6",
6'5", 250.
Man, that's a dude. That's a dude, man.
That's a monster.
Yeah, it took, and you saw he had several dudes jumping up on him, man. He was like, all right,
in my face.
All right, back your ass up. Hold on. Toss your ass up to the side. But yeah, it was wild stuff, man, for sure. And here's the thing, man. Like, there's so much to unpack from that whole story because Cam is trying to get back to the community, right? And we've seen all these situations where young men have verbally challenged him.
Yep, last year.
The dude on the thing saying, man, something he was saying, hating ass dude. And it's like, bro, it kind of makes you not want to help out your own people or give back to your community. I hear people saying, well, why does he do it or whatever? I kind of feel like he has to do it because I think there's something that he feels like is a calling. Like he feels like he's obligated to give back. Right. I understand the frustrations of it, but it's like, man, it's so many. We talked about this the other day too, Ken. The difference between people that hate you and people that are haters. People that hate you gonna stay away from you. Haters, they thrive to be in your face, man. And people like Cam Newton always got to deal with them type of people, man. Like this hating ass dude literally basically said he was gonna fuck with Cam Newton, right? I don't know if it's about money. Like, bro, I don't care what you talking about when it come down to money. Cam Newton is the richest dude in your circle.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, why you messing with that man, bro? You know what I mean? And it's just wild stuff to see. And Cam Newton's in a situation, I think there were minors involved in it. Like, what if he'd have like hauled off and really punched somebody, bro? You know what I mean? So, man, it's sad. It's a sad situation that he has to deal with that type of stuff with these hating ass Nganos out here.
I just can't believe that his hat didn't fall off. It didn't even
that's
move.
What everybody said. That John didn't even.
He had to have that jump pinned into his.
It's got to be pinned,
because he got I think all his hats got to be custom made to his hair. Right. So he got the joint.
Yeah, he got some kind of situation going on. The man was clean too though.
Like if you gotta be a alpha dude who doesn't give
who can even pull that off.
Who could pull that off? Yep. Like that is wild. His outfits are crazy.
Yeah, Cam is that dude, man. He's looking like manly man of the year right now though, because he was tossing them dudes for sure.
With the Mad Hatter
man
hat
with the
on.
Mad Hatter head on, looking like Willy Wonka in that junk, tossing dudes. But yeah, speaking of looking crazy though, your boy Jonathan Isaac, man. I hate to bring this up because I hate for it to come off like I'm joking about an injury, but damn it, I guess I'm joking about an injury. Jonathan Isaac. Let me just say this: I'm not gonna joke about it. I'm gonna point out the irony in this situation, man. And of course, Black Twitter got a hold of this story, and we took it to a whole nother level, right? So Jonathan Isaac comes out, like, oh man, I might have to wear
the Freedom Fighters,
the Freedom Fighter joints. I might have to wear the Donald Trump shoes, right? Looking like grown NBA player Brian Botta on the Twitter, saying he might want to wear these Jonathan Isaac shoes. I mean the Donald Trump shoes, and then he didn't wear them, and then he goes out and he hurts his knee in a game. And somebody put on Twitter, every time this Negro be on that dumb shit, the ancestors come in with his ass. I'm like, damn. Oh man, leave it to the ancestors. They will come get you, bro. Jonathan Isaac, stop playing, bro. Like, stop playing around with this stuff. And here's the thing, man. Like, all three of us are Christian, right? We all believe in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. The three of us, right? And there's like, you got people who are just like regular Christians, then you got people who are weirdos. And Jonathan Isaac is a weirdo, man. Like, there's nothing about your faith. Like, during the pandemic, when they had to protest with George Floyd, right? There's nothing about your faith that should make the words come out of your mouth, I don't bow down for anybody but God. Like, bro, this ain't that, man.
Ain't nobody asking you to, bro.
You ain't worshiping nothing, man. You're symbolically showing unity about a very important situation that should be a very important situation to you, Jonathan Isaac. Like, a lot of people, we do weird stuff and we throw our faith on it, and all it does is just make our faith look weird. It doesn't make our faith like something. Part of our job in our faith is to draw men to Christ, bro. Yep. Like, you're not doing that. You're just being a freaking weirdo, man. And it's like, if anything in your faith makes you feel like Donald Trump is a representation of your faith, man, you need to reassess. You need to reassess what you're saying and what you're doing, man. Like, there's nothing about that dude that's God-like, Christ-like. Nothing about how this dude moves is that. And I know a lot of people who are the same faith as I am, who are trying to act like Donald Trump represents godliness and the Christian way. And like, come on, man, y'all, let's not be that goofy, bro. But Jonathan Isaac, like I said,
there goes our comments.
Yeah, God, the comments coming. They coming. That's fine though. I've heard worse. I've dealt with y'all on many levels.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, but my Christian brothers and sisters also believe that we could blow COVID away. That we could just blow it away. You know, I know somebody who had several people die in their church because the pastor was telling people not to get the vaccine, and they had people dying of COVID in the church. We got to stop being goofy as a faith, man, and just be do what Jesus would have done. You know what I mean? Like, for real. But anyway, bro, let me move on. NBA stuff, more NBA stuff. I'll just kind of throw this out there as an and one. The Clippers, new rebrand. What are y'all thoughts on?
The ship with the sea around it.
Yeah, they're like they're playing Battleship on. Somebody said it looks like a submarine, but it says it's supposed to be one of those ships that has 3 sails on it, if you look at it. But the sails are like thunk, 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 like that. But the jerseys are cool. It's the exact same colors. They just kind of the exact same colors, whatever. The Clippers seem like they just ain't messed up by the rebrand. They did like 2 of them joints in the last 5 or 6 years. Feels like
it wasn't bad. It wasn't like it wasn't ugly. It wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't. Like,
and they new stadium for me off the chain too. I hope that we borrowing some of they stuff for the Grizzlies stadium for sure. But their rebrand is lining up with their renovations, right?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, Grizzlies, y'all might need to follow that path. Just redo y'all shit for the renovations. That'll be dope. That'll be a good time to rebrand.
Yep.
When they get the new building. But other NBA stuff, LeBron out here just talking and shit. LeBron, man. King James, LeBron. Bronny James, of course, is the son of LeBron James, the son of one of the greatest players of all time. Bronny James is what Michael Jordan's kids would have been in a social media era where you can just really know who these guys are on demand, that type of thing. I think those kids probably would have been just as big as Bronny and Bryce are. But had the heart issues this summer. Didn't know if he was ever going to play basketball again. He's been okay for USC, averaging about 5 or 6 points a game. Doesn't look like an NBA player. I think he could eventually be a pro, but he looks like how most non-elite freshmen look, you know what I mean, their freshman year or whatever. He was taken out of the mock drafts. They had him as high as lottery pick at one time. Now these people, nobody really has him in a mock draft anymore. Everyone expects him to come back to school. And LeBron's like, man, we don't care about that stuff, and y'all just let him be a kid. But LeBron, you're the one who said you want to play with him.
You're the one who said the Lakers could use him. Like
right.
You're the one that said half the roster, that Bronny's better than half the roster.
Yeah,
there,
and like, man, you threw your own team on the bus for a kid that's going to be in college next year. Again, needs to be in college again next year. And I get it, but LeBron has to understand that he's put a lot of that pressure on that kid as well. And I just think he kind of went too far with it, man. Like, just let him go hoop, man. Let him go and enjoy college basketball life. And you were already talking about, you know, you want to play with him, and you want the Lakers to burn a roster spot to get him. I'm like, man, it's just wild, man. And I think LeBron is one of the greatest players ever. So, you know, a lot comes with that. You make provisions for your guys. I'm like, bro, you 40 years old, bro. Like, why you want the Lakers to draft your kid? You know what I mean?
I think LeBron, the thing that got him confused is he's used to being able to go into Rob Pelinka's office and getting a whole roster changed up mid-season.
If I don't do nothing this year.
And so I think he's thinking I can use that same clout and get my son in the mock drafts, right? Like I'll get him
crazy.
Where I want him to go. Nah. And now he's like, never mind. Let him enjoy being in college.
Yeah.
It's like
I'd much rather see LeBron say, wherever Bronny ends up, whether he makes it to the NBA one day, or he plays in the G League, or he stays in college 4 years, I'd rather LeBron say, whatever my son does, I'll quit and go coach for them before I like. Why you put like get to the league? I want to play on the same team as my kid type pressure on him. That's just a wild ass.
Ready to go to the league? Like,
next year. It's just wild, man. Because he's not that level of player. He's good. I think he'll be fine one day, but I just think trying to force that whole situation was just a tad too much. But I tell you what, man, we're about to go to the break. When we come back, inside the same brain, I'm gonna keep my boy Parish on for this one too. I think it's something that he definitely can talk about when we come back on the show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
There are good coaches that have a system that they want to run. And they'll take these pieces of personnel and they'll make that personnel conform to their system. Great coaches, of course, are the ones that go get the personnel. They pick out these guys that they like. And then they'll take that personnel and they'll say, hey, you do this well, you do this well. We're going to change some things up. Right. We're going to fit this system to you.
Adaptability.
I keep watching this with Penny, and he wants this defensive culture and the thought process behind it to just sort of be his defensive system. And this year has been very telling to me that he has no adjustment off that.
Yeah.
You have to be moldable. You have to be able to change with the times and the talent and the personnel that's given to you. And I don't see that from Penny, man.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Yeah.
He wants it to be one way, his way.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Let's talk about the salary cap going into the deadline. The Grizzlies obviously moved Adams last week. But right now, they are sitting at $173 million next year. That is $2 million over the salary cap, the luxury tax. That's in the first there. That would put them in the first apron. That is without Luke Kennard, though. His opt-in at 14.7. And the second apron is at 191. The reason they did the Adams trade was to take the $9 million of Oladipo's contract into this year. They're coming off the books next year. And there are a lot of things you are not allowed to do when you're in the second apron. It restricts the way you can sign players, how you can trade players, lots of restrictions. And it also just comes with a big tax bill. Just know that they're not going to go into the second apron.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with Mark King and Lute Hatmaker at 1 p.m. every Monday through Friday live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Vince is who we thought Dillon was going to be, right? He's turning into that player that's just a defensive menace, but can get you buckets. And it's just fun to watch him grow and develop into the player that he is, especially against Dillon Brooks.
It was a passing of the guard thing, but because for Dillon, it was always like you loved his grit, you loved his tenacity, you loved his nastiness on the defensive end, but he just shot you out of games. And you were just hoping like Vince Williams can be that guy, and he just won't shoot as much. But it's actually been this season, he's taken 4 3-pointers a game, 37% from three, 44% from the field as a total. And it's the polar opposite on the offensive end of what Dillon offered.
Getting in Steph's head, getting in Luka's head, bugging these star players, grinning maniacally while he's covering Steph Curry, one of the greatest shooters of all time, because he's a straight-up Batman villain.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Friday at 3 p.m. only on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Final segment of the show called Inside the Sain Brain. Well, talk about something that's just been on my mind, Kenneth Stubblefield. Typically doesn't have anything to do with sports. And, man, major news, man. It's a local story now, but I'm sure by the time it gains wind, it will start getting some national legs, man. One of our first shows, one of our very early shows, Anthony Sain Show, when we got started, was with Mayor candidate at the time, mayor, Paul Young, one of the first, probably the only first sports show to have him on in any capacity. Paul Young was the mayoral candidate then, and he talked about I asked him, the heavy questions, like how would you deal with, with violence, which is of course a big issue here in the city of Memphis. He was very candid about it, man. He said that he thinks that it's one of those things that's going to take conversations, you know what I mean? And it's going to take mentoring and mental health and all those type of things.
And if you know his story,
he just had a very different approach.
If you know his story, you know why.
Yeah, his dad was a huge advocate for that.
Man, just massive. His
dad was a big advocate about after school programs for kids and just keeping kids engaged and giving them something to do and dealing with trauma and dealing with mental health and all those type of things. It's something that Bishop Young was really big about in this city, man, over at the Healing Center. And awesome story comes out that says that Paul Young, he just kind of said it like one of them Penny Hardaway type things. We just started talking about shit that happened a couple weeks ago. Damn, man.
You're like, wait, hold on. What did you just say?
What? Right, you just up there talking. Yeah, so I met with that man went lying, man. Like, he ain't met with you. But no, he said he had a meeting with gang leaders. Who those gang representatives were, I don't know. I don't know what all gangs were in attendance.
Did they have snacks at the meeting?
Right. Did anybody provide snacks? And who catered?
Who catered the meeting?
Right. But yeah. So what do you feed a gang leader?
What do you feed?
Finger food. You want
charcuterie
boards?
Well,
I gotta get back on the trap, big dog. Just give me some. Give me something light.
Are there certain diet restrictions like keto? You got to go keto with them. Like what?
Right. Do you give them a full meal? Yeah. No, they got to trap or die. You know what I mean? What's up? How do you?
That's certain words.
How do you feed a gang leader? Right. Do we avoid Red Lobster bluefin. Why do we do this? You know, what do we do?
Can you not don't use any C or B words?
Right. Exactly. Like I don't know, man. How do you feed gang leaders? Like, did all the gang leaders know? Hey, you know, OG so and so gonna be here. And
was it a surprise?
All right,
like, they just pull up? Like what happened?
Yeah, but anyway, I ain't worried about the details.
I need details.
All I know is that
did you stand in the middle while they was around?
Right. Was it like the Michael Jackson thing with right? We put the guns down like what's up, man? Hey, no, that man security was on point for that meeting though. But anyway, Mayor Paul Young had a meeting with gang members. I don't know the details of it. I don't really care. I think it's pretty dope. And I hate how like the whole headline is kind of setting him up to look like a weirdo, right?
Yeah.
Because the headline says, Paul Young met with gang members to call a ceasefire with provisions. And then people who don't read the story are like,
come on, man.
Oh, you negotiating with terrorists, right? That's what we doing. Man. The only provision was, hey, we put our guns down or they put their guns down. You know what I mean?
That's all he
said.
It. Yeah.
And then they said something that really tugged at my heartstrings, kid. I know it tugged at yours too. When the gang leader said, hey, man, we down for putting the guns down, but like my little dudes, these dudes need to make some money out here. Like, what do y'all got?
Come on, man.
To help these kids make money. He was like, man, when we was coming up, we had stuff to do in the city. Ain't nothing to do in the city.
Right.
These are the people that we've called the enemies, the bad people. They're crying out to the leader like, look, man, we know it. We know stuff could be better, but it is what it is, bro. Like, how can you help us with an alternative?
Put our little dudes get some money in their pocket.
Yeah, man.
Right?
And I'll tell you something, Kenny. You remember this. I told you this situation. When me and we worked with the Youth Young, I don't like calling that organization names, but when we worked for
Same
nonprofits back then, right? We're working with the kids. There was a lady in our church, part of our organization. She was married to a guy that was a gang leader, right? That was one of the OGs, whatever. And we had this 25-passenger van, right? That was too big to keep at the church. So we would keep it in another place that would let us store our vehicles on their lot, right? Mm-hmm. They had a gated lot. Some kids had jumped the lot and they vandalized our vehicle, our 25-passenger van. They didn't tear it up. They just kind of wrote graffiti on it with like markers or whatever. Like it put gang symbols on it. So the next day when we realized it, Kenny, I called this guy. Yep. I said, Sister so-and-so, what's your husband's number, right?
Yep.
So I called him. I was like, hey, man, like we went to pick up our van and somebody tagged it. Somebody put graffiti on it, right? And I want you to come look at it. He said, all right, big bro, I'll be up there. So he shows up at the church. He looks at the van. He's like, oh, okay, say less. He makes a phone call. And he calls so-and-so. I said, I don't even want to hear what that brother talking about. You know what I mean? So he's on the phone. And he gets on the phone a few minutes later. He said, man, my bad, bro. He said, I talked to so-and-so. He said, it ain't my people. It's another gang, but I talked to my people. And he said, man, it ain't going to happen no more. As a matter of fact, we're going to have people 24/7 watching the vehicle overnight for the next few weeks to make sure nothing happened to it. And he got out there and he had some guys come clean out the van and all that. You know what I mean? And it's like, but what I'm trying to say is, did I know another guy, like his youth organization was funded by street dudes. Street dudes was giving him money. What you need? You need money for food, big bro? What you need? And he said the reason why, he was like, man, I don't want kids going down the path that we're on.
Yep. That's exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? And the thing is, we make these guys the enemy. We make them act like these guys aren't human. Like they didn't used to be little kids. Like they didn't used to be people with hope. You know what I mean?
Dreams, yep.
And it's like, instead of embracing these people, we're ready to the solution just can't be throw everybody in jail, bro. And I love what Paul Young did. And I think it's created an opportunity for more dialogue to happen, man, and for more change to happen, bro.
Yep.
Just talk to these people and try to make this stuff happen. And Kenny said this. I can talk around what you said?
Yeah, of course. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, he said that somebody came to him like, if
it was on Twitter. It was on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Oh, you saw it on Twitter. I thought somebody came to you and said,
no,
okay.
No.
But this guy on Twitter was like,
I don't move that way, so nobody talks to me like that.
Right. Like, don't tell Kenny. You know, he's an Ngana lover. Anyway,
I like tacos.
Right. Anyway, so the guy on Twitter says, if the mayor had all these gang leaders in one place, why couldn't the police just show up and arrest them all, right? I was like, bro.
Tell me you don't know how anything
works.
Right,
tell me you don't know how nothing works, man. But here's the thing, man. Here's the thing that people have to understand. Black people, right, Kenny, are the only, I know this is going to make some people mad, but I don't give a damn. Y'all need to hear this. Black people are the only race that was not allowed to benefit from organized crime in United States history. Tell me I'm wrong. Every other race of people had organized crime shit going on, and that shit just kind of happened. You know what I mean? Didn't nobody get in the way of it. You know what I mean? We're the only people that when we started what y'all call organized crime, oh, that's gang stuff. Let's shut that down. When every other race has benefited from organized crime. If you think I'm lying, show me.
I can tell you a story right now. Frank Lucas.
I can tell you a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even stuff that wasn't gangs got treated like gangs, like the Black Panthers. Like Martin Luther King Jr. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, a lot of these guys that, like, gangs got started for a reason. It was for a very positive reason. Yeah. And it's got destroyed and totally perverted over time. But there's still good people that are part of these organizations. There are people who are just trying to figure things out. They're trying to feed their kids just like we're trying to feed our kids. And like I said, it's organized. Their games are sometimes disorganized, but it's an attempt at organized crime.
Trying to organize it,
and every race, every creed of people has benefited from organized crime from this country. We're just the only one that's not truly been allowed to do that. It's been handled on a totally different vibe. But if you look at some of the rich families in the city or people, whatever, yeah, you go back to, you trace some of the roots of where those millions started. It wasn't from hard work and rolling up your sleeves. Some of it was organized crime. And like I said, this, yeah, y'all don't really want to have that conversation, but that's a whole other subject to jump into, man. Like I said, I'm not mad at what Paul Young did at all, man. It's a true boss move, something that probably no mayor since Young Willie probably could have pulled off, man. Young Willie probably could have pulled that move off. You know
I just don't know how anybody can listen to that story or read that story and think negatively about it in any way.
It's people who just want to be negative anyway, man.
People that just
want to be negative anyway. Yeah,
like conversation and dialogue is the most important thing you can possibly have.
And if you get if the fact that he could go in front of gang members and say, "Hey man, can y'all give us
like respectfully
a week, bro?"
Yeah, man.
All right, say less. Right. Say, hey man, that's powerful, bro.
That's a power move, man.
Right.
That's powerful.
In this city, bro, you had people like me that wanted to fire Taylor Jenkins. I'm like, man, I just saw Ami Udoka get Dylan Brooks and tell that man, all right, coach, I got you. I ain't gonna be an idiot, coach. Like Dylan, can you give me 3 months and not being a dumb ass? All right, coach, say listen. After 3 months, coach, I'm coming now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. Like, if I can celebrate that, I can celebrate the fact that Paul Young got a week or two out of the OGs, bro. You know what I mean? And I think, who knows, man? Who knows what this can spark? You know what I mean? So it could possibly spark continued conversation.
That's exactly what it's going to spark.
Yeah.
We just got to let that man work.
Yeah, man, let the man work because I'm excited about it. Yeah, awesome shit from Mayor Paul Young, who came on our show very, very, very early in our stages of this show for sure. But I tell you what, Kenny, that's another one in the books, man. Another Anthony Sain show. Shout out to my boy Parish Sharkey, of course. I need my check, Ken. I need my NCAA check. I ain't got that joint. I need that, man, for real. Y'all I might have had to deal with it.
Still waiting on mine.
Getting grouped in with these white boys, and I ain't got my check yet from NCAA, man.
Yeah, that's you hear the new rumor, Parish.
Yeah, you know we got money. You know, the NCAA broke us off to throw a penny under the bus, man.
They hired BCM to.
Yeah, I ain't got my money yet though.
Pull a case on Penny so he can get fired.
Yeah, got me looking like Judas in the Black Messiah. Turn in Penny.
I'm glad I be busy divorced seeing all this stuff.
So crazy, bro. Bro, what? Anyway, we'll anyway. For Parish Sharkey, man. For Kenny Stubblefield behind the glass. To all my real Nganos out there. We'll see y'all next time. And we up out here.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.